Alright, welcome back to the Boys series, Season 2, Episode 3. If you haven't yet, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. Now let's get right into it. On a yacht in the middle of the ocean, the boys have Kenji, Kamiko's brother, and plan to deliver him to Mallory. Kenji and Kamiko talk about protecting each other. He's worried the Americans are going to torture him, but she says that she's not going to let that happen. After a night at the club, A-Train leaves and almost has another heart attack. This dude is on the edge of death and just pushing the limit. During breakfast with Becca and Ryan, Ryan begins to speak Spanish, which annoys Homelander, so he takes him outside to play. On the roof of the house, Homelander says it's time for him to jump. He can fly. He's got powers. Ryan's terrified and doesn't believe in himself. He begs him not to make him do it, and Homelander replies by pushing him off the fucking roof. He doesn't fly. He slams flat onto the ground. Becca is terrified, but Homelander doesn't give a fuck. He says that's his son, and he's not gonna raise him to be a pussy. He grabs her by the arm, and Ryan pushes him to the ground as his eyes light up red with rage. Homelander's not even mad. He's proud. Ryan says he hates him and tells him to leave them alone. During a meeting about a new movie, The Dawn of the Seven, Stormfront calls out the producer for the poor female character writing. Ashley suddenly gets a text and rushes out in a panic. She meets Mr. Edgar and he tells her to shut up and keep all the infants in line while he fixes the current situation. Starlight anonymously delivered the Compound V sample to the news and the story blew up immediately. Everyone knows about it and the fact that Vought makes their soups. Starlight watches the TV with a huge smile and just laughs to herself. A-Train confronts her. He knows that she's the one who did it, but she says he let her walk away with it when he had a chance to stop her, so it's just as much his fault. He tries to tell her she doesn't get it. You never fuck with the money. They're all gonna lose everything. As it turns out, none of the seven knew that they were created. They all thought they were born special, and now they have to deal with the fact they were lied to their entire lives. Huey calls Starlight and leaves her a message saying they did it. The boys see the news on TV, and MM is ecstatic and congratulates him. Frenchie gives him a huge kiss, but Butcher doesn't seem to care and reminds them they have a soup terrorist below deck right now that they need to focus on. Just a fucking buzzkill. Frenchie brings Kenji something to eat and drink and says he only wants to help Kamiko. Kenji reveals she hasn't spoken since the night their parents were murdered, and they created their own version of sign language so they could communicate with each other when they were imprisoned. Frenchie begs him to teach it to him, but he says no. On his way out, Frenchie leaves the can in the room, and we discover Kenji has freed one of his fingers, so his powers are slightly back, but just enough to move the can. Elena tells Maeve this is their chance to finally leave, but Homelander interrupts and she quickly hangs up. He asks her who Elena is. His nosy ass heard the whole thing. The NYPD shows up in a helicopter saying the boat they're on was reported stolen. Whoopsie! While Butcher is trying to talk them down, a boat anchor flies out of the water and almost takes his head off. Kenji freed himself. Kamiko grabs him, but not before he destroys the helicopter and kills the police. Carol shows up and tells the Deep it's time for him to rejoin the Seven. The leader of their church, Alistair Adana, sent them intel on the soup terrorist location and says he needs to act fast. Vought is panicking. Their stocks are tanking. They haven't released a statement yet. They either have to deny it or just admit it. Mallory calls Butcher and says they have to bring Kenji to a safe house now. They destroyed a police helicopter and they're too hot for her to come pick him up. Huey tries calling Starlight again, but she's not answering. He leaves her another message telling her to please be careful. Mr. Edgar meets with the Seven and says they're going to get through this together. Homelander says they need to pull together as a family. Companies come and go, but talent is forever. They all agree to take Kenji down. Stormfront is impressed by his anti-Vought stance, and they kind of share a moment. Back on the yacht, their boat is attacked by sharks in the Deep, who is controlling them. The boat starts sinking and they have to bail on the smaller motorboat. A whale, with the Deep riding on his back, cuts them off before they can reach the shore, and Butcher just runs the boat straight into the whale. Which kills it. They all climb out of the carcass except Huey, who is covered head to toe in blood and guts for the fourth time in 11 episodes? It has to be in his contract, right? MM goes back inside the whale, sits down next to him, and says he's not leaving then either. Huey calls him an asshole, and they both leave together. MM tries to explain to Butcher that they're all at a breaking point, but he replies with they're almost at the finish line. MM says Huey's not gonna make it, and they need him. The Deep cries over the dead whale named Lucy as the rest of the Seven arrive. He says they went into the storm drains, and Starlight confronts him asking him what the fuck he's doing here. He apologizes and says he's gonna do everything in his power to renew his light for all the female people he's offended. Stormfront overhears this and calls him out for joining the Church of the Collective, telling him he's an idiot. Homelander tells the Deep to hang back. He'll rejoin the Seven soon. Starlight finds Huey in the storm drain and blasts him because Homelander is watching. He orders her to kill him, and if she doesn't, he says he's gonna kill them both. Butcher interrupts and saves him. Kenji uses his powers to crumble the sewer and buries Homelander so they can get away, but then he takes off and Kamiko chases after her. Butcher helps Huey up, which normally I probably wouldn't even mention, but I feel like it's a big deal because Butcher doesn't ever do anything nice, so Butcher helps Huey up. Kamiko catches up to Kenji and begs him to stop, but they're attacked by Stormfront. She sends him through a wall and into an apartment complex. Stormfront comes in and kills the innocent family for no reason as she pursues Kenji. Kamiko knocks her down and they temporarily get away. As Stormfront follows them, she kills another random guy she encounters in the stairwell, just blasts him through the wall, and I think she might be racist. She catches up to them on the roof and breaks both of Kenji's wrists so his powers no longer work. As she chokes him to death, she tells him to open his eyes so she can watch him die while calling him a fucking yellow bastard. What? Jesus. Yeah, racist confirmed. Fuck. Homelander shows up and is pissed because he wanted to kill Kenji, but Stormfront says, you snooze, you lose. Mr. Edgar finally makes a statement to the press and blames everything on Madeline Stillwell, claiming he had no knowledge of anything and they're conducting a full investigation to get to the bottom of it. He then praises Stormfront for stopping the Soup terrorist and saving countless lives. Kumiko watches the news, pissed and clearly wants revenge. Jesus. I might need to go back and edit the fact I liked Stormfront in the first 2 episodes. Apparently she's a racist. What's going to happen with A-Train now? I'm sure we'll see. Anyways, thank you for joining me for this recap. Episode 4 is coming soon. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.